Здравейте на всички, аз съм Хънтър, добре дошли. Продължаваме с Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, но как? Продължаваме в първото от двете DLC. Както виждате, имаме две DLC-та, Inevitable Access и True Ashes. True Ashes все още го нямам. Предстои да си го взема и да го разцъкаме и него, тъй като, доколкото разбирам, той е мини странична историка, която се развива и се разказва за други герои, не точно за нашите, но действието се случва по край това, което става около нашите герои. А ние сега ще разцъкаме Inevitable Access, което е история, която се развива малко преди да завършим играта. И сега ще разберем повече всъщност за нея, като аз не съм точно наясно какво се случва. Така че тук ни казват Answer a plea from a powerful entity and defend the space-time continuum. Значи нещо с времеви неща ще става въпрос. Against imminent collapse, use your unparalleled mythic powers to do battle with truly invincible opponents. Това не би звучи добре. Import your character from the main campaign just before the moment of their greatest triumph. Their victory over the world won't, or create a new character. Че можем да си създаваме нови герой, което е хубаво. Сега ние ще играем на кор, както винаги. Единственото, което ще си позволим е Character Retrain, в случай, че решиме да си претренираме някой или нещо ни е сложно и трудно. Така, това е нашия герой, който ще си импортнем. Това е героя в общи линии, с който си превъртяхме играта, естествено. Паладина. Видим сега какво ни предстои тук. Inevitable Access. Често казано, доста време нямах търпение да разцъкам Inevitable Access.
The architect of the world wound, Rilu Vorlesh, awaited the commander in the heart of Threshold. Their confrontation seemed imminent, but an unexpected obstacle appeared in the commander's path. Who would dare to postpone the inevitable?
Oh, indeed. If a person has sworn enemy, find a barrier. Figure out what's going on. If a person has sworn enemy, then they will be predisposed to ascribe all misfortunes and failures, all obstacles in their path to that enemy. The commander was ready to plunge into the heart of Threshold to fight his ultimate foe, me, a real Vorish. But an unexpected obstacle has appeared in his path. Who would dare to postpone this battle that the commander has been striving toward for so long? Да видим. Сега какво? Вижте ни! Къде сме? Штрак? Това са нашите хора. Върху мене си не мога да цъкна обаче. Много интересно. И какво? An impassable barrier. Чакайте тук да все пак да има някакво history. Ето така мисля, че е добре. An impassable barrier. Vague silhouettes can be seen beyond it, looking as though they were molded from grey mist. For the moment, the way to the heart of Threshold is blocked. Което означава, че трябва да се върнем назад. Така е.
Godspeed.
The monotone voice rings out across the dungeons of Threshold.
Request. If you can hear me, please proceed to the fortress entrance.
Try to pinpoint where the voice is coming from. The resonant, emotionless voice seems to be coming from every direction at once. Who is that speaking?
This world is under threat. Anomalies are destroying its integrity. The danger is critical. Assistance is required. Request. Please proceed to the fortress entrance.
What? What anomalies?
Anomalies are destroying the integrity of this world. All necessary information will be provided to you directly when we meet. Request. Please proceed to the fortress entrance.
Fine, let's meet at the entrance to Threshold.
Request. Please proceed to the fortress entrance.
Разбрахме? Добре. We're going to the... What is this? Този направо се разпадна, бе. Аз обаче съм в някаква формулка, която не е тази, която аз искам. Така. Аз съм по-скоро нещо като тази, само че не съм. Така, тук посрещаме отпред. Така, даже сме още малко по-напред. Така, тук, така и така. Обикновено е наобратно работата. Нещо е такова. Нашата... Виж ги, бе. Те се разпадат някакви. Бабал и някакви гадни демоняци се появиха тук изведнъж. Infiltrator, Mythic, значи Dream Slayer. Интересно. Eat this. Ах ти! Тази трябва да загине много бързо, обаче. Така, Fear Bats. Да се знаете. Аз имам ли меч тук? Аз имам някакви страшно много буфове. Аз имам меч. Екстра. Момент. Аз на тия не мисля да им правя някакви сериозни магии. Това нещо е много кръв. Още. Delicious fight. Troll failed, вземи. Прецакахме го мега мазно. Okay. Аз искам обаче да дойде ето този да убия, не? Те ми бягат, бе! Може им се не види баш. Тук мисля да си използвам един шаут, за да стънна скулуса. Това има ли на къде да бягам само? Има много на къде да бягам, но се не види. Значи ще отбиеме скулуса първо. Този не мога да го ударя. Този горе дали е имунен на Lightning, защото ако не е имунен на Lightning, може да му изпраска на нещо електрическо, тъй като аз нямам много електрицити. Но то всъщност няма никакво значение. Аз вече мога да си джаскам потент неща. От една страна не ми се иска да си хъба магиите. Това на колко кръв? Да направо да го приключвам. Така, мерси. Това сега къде изчезна тук? Добре, я чакайте да право селектваме всички. Да сам това нещо да го пръсне. Така, благодаря. Аномалиите. Ние дойдохме. Откъде дойдохме? Ние сами дойдохме всъщност. Не знам. Чакай да си пуснем това. Виж го, бе. Интересно. Те направо изчезват така. Градиница тук. Аз имам странното усещане, че нещо ще ни нападне по някое време. О, ето ги градините. Ето ги градините, къде са? Няма проблеми. Така. Мист. Добре. Ще си бъфнем малко фаер. Ау. Брат, какво си мислиш, че ми правиш ти, бе? Сега ще те пръсна тук направо. Има и врок. Окей. Аз си мисля, че ме притеснява нещо. Как да го разбирам аз? Аз па не мога да го стигна тук. Мога ли да го стигна? Не, няма да мога да го стигна. Добре. Ще мога да направим Chain Lightning. Ама има ли смисъл да правя? По-скоро не. Чекай. А какво да ми правя? Хич неща да си хъба магиите. Ще ми направим Chain Lightning. Така да им джаснем някакъв демидж. Така да има. О, тук се появи някаква друга градина. Ау. Чак. Не трябва да дойдем ето тук някъде. Така. Предвижи се, приятелю. Добре, екстра. Тук си правим self-heal. Значи ми още си въжи, това е супер. Трябва да отидем ето тази година тук. Така я се бъвни и изчезвай. Супер. Смол човек тук, докато стигне, сега ще стане други ден. Ние вече нямаме хейст. Ау. Някакви Chain Lightning ми фърчат тук. Направо не е истина. Сега обаче ще ги пръснем. За дали мога да му направя един... чакайте малко. Ние направо ще го гътнем с голямата магия. Така. Айде! Така, това беше по-притеснителната година, така че... Аз на това само фирма правя. О, мини! Така... Ела тук, бе, братчето ми. Миролимич. Добре, тук не мисля да хабиме повече магии. Право си го страдам с някакви глупости, така колкото да не мине хора. Може да му смъкна AC-то, между другото. Неща е. Не, той е загинал. Няма какво да го спаси тук. Да, твърде сме силни в момента. Select all characters. Така, а сега на къде сме? Сега трябва сигурно да скачиме сам нагоре. Нещо за... Запипване няма, като гледам. Плюс е някакъв портал, братите. Threshold Entrance. Между другото, може би преди това ще си направя един Game of Hands. Threshold. Даже си избирам кое да ми е партито ли, бе? Интересно. Паралелно отиваме на някакво ново место. Тук мога да погледна. Grey fog, thick and dense, gathers beyond the fortress doors. Passing through it seems impossible for the moment. Very fine.
Access detected. Verbal exchange has been initiated and will be recorded in my memory. I have been waiting for you. My name is Vaalmaloos.
Vaalmaloos. The towering golem addresses you, but his voice does not originate from his motionless lips, nor even from his head, but directly from the burning heart in his chest. Serpentine scrolls coil around the golem, rustling as though whispering to their master. Who are you, Vaalmaloos?
A primordial inevitable. My second name is the Answering Right. I am the Guardian of Magic. My task is to monitor instances of dangerous, experimental, unsanctioned magic and to neutralize them if they pose a threat to the integrity of this world.
Inevitable. Inevitables are a family of living machine eons created by axiomites in the eternal war against proteans and the forces of chaos. Това да не е Mass Effect.
So here it is, the cause of so many failed experiments. No one can be allowed to stand in the way of science. I have always experimented and I will continue to experiment, even if some esteemed golem considers my experiments unsanctioned.
Nenio's eyes narrow.
The individual Nenio poses no threat to the world. The individual Nenio's experiments are harmless.
Fact.
The danger they pose to the world is minimal. The danger they pose to the individual Nenio is severe.
Как я нахрани? Добре. Who are primordial inevitables?
We are living machines, super golems created to perform certain tasks. The primordial inevitables were the first among all inevitables. Eons designed us. Axiomites poured the metal for our bodies. Axis is the crucible from which we came. The material plane is the site of our vigil.
Asked.
I have a question regarding your form. Why did your creators place your heart on the outside? Why are there scrolls flying around you? Don't they get tangled up in your legs when you walk? In my expert opinion, your construction leaves much to be desired.
My form is optimal for performing the tasks assigned to me. The powers of a primordial inevitable are comparable to those of a demigod.
Очевидно скроловете не му пречат явно. You monitor the use of dangerous magic capable of destroying the world. Where were you when a real Vorish opened the world wound?
The world wound problem was promptly analyzed. Inevitable Emeslin was sent to eliminate it. The result was failure and loss of functionality. Axis thanks you for destroying Emeslin.
Emeslin е бил от тях. Той е бил Inevitable. Интересно. Значи те, въпреки че имат всички тия сили на времето и знаят за какво става дума, всъщност не са invulnerable и реално могат да бъдат победени. Защото и Мезлен беше прецакан и ние го победихме на всичкото отгоре накрая. Валмалос' voice is sanguine. It is impossible to tell if Imazlin's defeat and death trouble him at all.
Imazlin failed to fulfill his mission, and he is to blame for that. But you could have sent other inevitables to Threshold to deal with the problem. You both deserve censure.
The world wound problem is still to be resolved. Your arrival here is linked to the search for a solution to the world wound problem.
Ясно. Imazlin's death doesn't bother you at all.
Emotions were not factored into the construction of inevitables. The creators considered them superfluous.
I agree with your creators.
That's awful. Living without emotions, never feeling anything. Never for being able to love, to want, to crave. I pity you, Vалмалос.
I could never live without emotions as you do, Валмалос. I feel joy when I see the beauty of the world and goodness in the hearts of others. And I like that feeling.
Браво. Let's get to the point. What do you want from me?
This world is under threat. Anomalies are destroying its integrity. The danger is critical. Assistance is required.
Разбрахме.
The confluence of mythic, semi-divine, and divine powers in one place on Golariън risks destabilizing the very fabric of the material plane. The power of the Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade must be contained to prevent catastrophic consequences.
Whoa. What do you mean by anomalies?
Small rifts in reality spontaneously manifesting in the fabric of this world. They are like a sickness poisoning this world, generating copies of various creatures from its memory and imbuing them with irrational behavior. The anomaly-infected copies are non-functional. They must be eliminated.
What kind of catastrophe are you talking about?
The confluence of excess powers in one place, exacerbated by the conflict between them, is having a destructive effect on reality. Rifts in the world's matter are imminent. The world of Golariъn will be torn to pieces, and, it is likely, consumed by other planes. This catastrophe must be prevented. If you call upon your power, you should be able to sense the impending catastrophe.
Да видим. Focus on your senses. Somewhere far away at the edge of your perception, you do sense some kind of disturbance in the force. Attention. Like someone is trying to wind a mechanical clock past breaking point. And this feeling is emanating from threshold. At the same time, you feel strange lightness in your chest. The bleeding scar has vanished, leaving behind no sign at all that it was there, that it was ever there. What specifically do you want me to do?
The anomalies created by these material rifts must be destroyed. Their focal point has been detected in the city of Iz. Request: you will go to Iz to destroy the anomalies.
The city of Iz. Аномалии там.
Warning: anomalies can influence the minds of those subjected to them. Be prepared for memory distortions.
Това не звучи добре. But I sense the strain in the fabric of reality coming from Threshold. Why are you sending me to Iz?
Entry to Threshold is currently impossible. Anomalies are everywhere. I will remain here and search for a way to solve the anomaly problem in Threshold, while you solve the anomaly problem in Iz.
Валмалос is silent for the first time. You see that the inevitable is carefully choosing his words. Значи той не ни казва всичко. Странно. I don't have time for your requests. Не. Well, I guess I don't have any choice but to go to Iz.
This verbal exchange will be terminated and recorded in my memory. We will meet again when you have solved the problem in Iz.
Добре. Той си изчезна и тук ми е Крузейдър кемп. Адската лудница. Какви са тия неща, бе? Това са нещата от целия ми инвентар ли? Интересно. Не знам дали са нещата от целия ми. The sword of valor is fluttering in the wind, triumphantly. Я чакайте малко. Не бе, нещата са си в мене. Много странна работа. Тук. Какво? С този кит какво се прави? Alchemist kit. Axis crystals. Luminous herb. Axis crystals. Cook something. Добре де. Всичко е екстра. Аз обаче... Вижте колко много неща имаме. Acorn pie. You don't know this recipe. Аз ги научавам всичките направо. Даже няма ги гледам кое какво е. После ще си видим какви са нещата. А ги копираме всичките. Защо са толкова много? Много странно, между другото. Аз Elven Notes. Oldest to newest. Много странна работа. Имаме още Elven Notes даже. Jewelry Trader. О, тук артефактите са адските. Аз имам 8 милиона ли, бе, брат? Мале, дайте да купуваме ние неща, бе. Аз какво ще? Скинтър на плюс 4 не трябва. Bastard Sword на плюс 5. Brilliant. Energy Sight. Daybreak. Longsword. Unholy. Greater Frost Dragon Bane Hand Axe. Explosive Fervor. Cruel Flaming Burst Heavy Pike. Spiteful Mockery. Финел на готино оръжие. Hour of Masterpiece. Full Plate. Chain Shirt не ни трябва. Breastplate не ни трябва. Plague of Madness. Is hit, the wearer gets a fast healing. Stacks up to 10 until the end of the combat. Whenever the wearer of this plus 4 band armor is hit, the wearer gets a fast healing. Plague of Madness. Това името му нещо не ми звучи като Plague of Madness някакси. Immunity against bombs. Това е яко. Bracers of Lesser Archery не ни трябва. Тия неща са слаби. Цяло Bane Flash. Once per day, whenever your HP falls below 0, your HP is restored by twice your character level, and the ring summons undead skeletal champions around you. Bane Flash. Някакви quicken неща, някакви маски. Belt of Physical Form. Сега аз тия неща няма да ги продавам, това е със сигурност. Това обаче, което ме интересува мене, тук bulk selling мога ли да направя? Мога. Я да видим сега какво има тук. Освен нещата, които ние продавахме. Alluring Charisma, Perfection, плюс 6 на всичко. Аз трябва да видя какво ни трябва, между другото. Даже няма да е лошо. Вижте колко много неща има. Head Butter's Helm. Какво прави това са? Whenever the character of this helm successfully charges an enemy, the enemy must pass a reflex save or suffer minus 2 penalty to AC. Balance. Тия ги имахме. Boreal Might. Is the ability to cast spells spontaneously grants them the ability to cast the following spells. Ice Storm, Cold Ice Strike, Ice Body Pour, тоест Cold магии. Да, висок левел. Минус 4 penalty to AC. Whenever an ally 30-foot radius is knocked unconscious or dead, they get 2 extra attacks per round. Не съм фен. Having full hit points, the enemy must pass 40 saving throw or be knocked prone. Whenever the wearer of these braces lands a hit while having full health points. Тия брейсери са много добри всъщност. Мога да ги дам на коня. Те често не го удрят него. Той доста често е на пълна кръв. Quick draw. Attack and damage with ranged weapons against large and bigger enemies. It also grants bonus to initiative. С какъв амулет е тя? О, я го дай този амулет в Quick Draw. Imminent Demise. Whenever the wearer of this ring makes an attack of opportunity, the enemy plus passes fortitude or be knocked down. The ring also grants competence bonus on attack and damage with two-handed weapons. With two-handed weapons. Той е единствения, който носи two-handed weapons. Ай ще го вземем този пръстен и ще пробваме как ще ни върши работа. This headband of wisdom increases its wearer's caster level by 1 when casting transmutation school spells. The wearer gets minus 2 penalty to AC, minus 5 penalty to persuasion, and minus 2 penalty to fortitude, but gets 4 bonus to damage rolls. plus 3 on will saving throws and plus 2 enhancement bonus to wisdom score. Enhancement. Ferocious Pact. Минус AC. Това не ми харесва. Persuasion skill checks. 4 на damage. Обаче получава. Will saving throw wisdom. Не съм сигурен дали мога да се възползвам от тия. Whenever the wearer of this ring deals fire damage through a spell, they deal additional fire damage. They also get... този пръст си го спомням. Ring of Pyromania. Red Salamander. If the wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously against them, огнени магии. Dark Omen. Това е само, че за некроманси магии получава. Animal Fury. Attack and damage also whenever the wearer is polymorphed. Navigator Bracers. 4 bones on saving throws against mind affecting. 10 competence bonus. Persuasion skill checks when used for diplomacy. Какво ми давах пълно? Saving throws against mind affecting. Ние сме имунни май. This ring grants the wearer cold resistance. The wearer has the ice plant hex. It also grants them plus 2 natural armor bonus. Вижте, този пръстен ще да е много силен за тази, за камелия. Ако беше оцеляла при нас, но е доста добър. Дава и още 2 AC, което е страхотно. И то натурален бонус, т.е. този пръстен може да се комбинира с пръстен of armor, съответно да даде още повече май, защото е натурален бонус и дава. Натуралният бонус може да се стаква. Мисля, че съм сигурен. If the wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously, it grants them the ability to cast the following spells. Spiked Pit, тия nature неща. Avenging Ring. Тук имам много артефакти аз. Suffers Force Damage. Competence Bonus, Persuasion, grants their companions plus no morale bonus, no skill checks. Extreme Fence. Protection plus 4. Wearer the ability to get plus 6 bonus to AC against ranged attacks for 5 rounds once per day. A Ring of Extreme Feints. Мене ме кефи този пръстен обаче. Едно AC по-малко дава, обаче може да даде плюс 6 dodge бонус на AC срещу ranged атаки. Ring of Extreme Feints. Мисля този пръстен да си го вземе, пък ще видим дали ще го ползваме. Menace of Death. Back rank assistance. If the wearer of this amulet is wielding a ranged weapon, whenever an ally lands an attack of opportunity, the wearer makes a free ranged attack. Яко. Perfect pitch. Immunity to Sonic. Perception. Whoa. Goggles of Quick Grasp. These goggles grant their wearer plus 15 competence bonus, persuasion, as well as all lore and knowledge skill checks. Тия ще си ги купа. Inside bonus to AC. This helmet grants wearer plus 1. Плюс 1. Това е направо не е честно. Bracers of Archery. Искам да си купа едно Bracers of Archery. Може би 2. 2 компетенс бонус на атак рост. Чакай сега. Така. Айде едно ще вземем за всеки случай. Плюс 4. Mind Control. Increase the save DC by 2 for all mind affecting spells the wearer casts. И тия ги взимам. Това между другото ще е много добре за Ненио. Какво носи? 2 бонус damage rolls against worms. Това е глупо. Това нещо ще й даде много яки неща и сега ще направи illusion магиите ни много силни. Ама страшно силни. Mind Break. These braces increase the save DC against all enchantment. Ние не ползваме толкова много enchantment, честно казвам. Whenever the wearer of this amulet declares Knight's Challenge. Нямаме такова нещо. Charisma Wisdom. Ring of Procrastinator. Това е странно. The wearer of this ring becomes staggered for the first round of every combat. For For the same round, he gains resistance against all elements. Spell resistance, damage reduction, critical hits. Това е много яко, ако някой е много dedicated на танк. Той реално няма да може да напада, поне ще е стагард. А дали пък няма някакъв ефект, който да те прави имунен на стагър? А то лошото е, че това е само за един рунд, цялото нещо. Странен пръстен. По-скоро не съм фен. This ring grants its wearer one additional spell slot for the 8th, one for the 9th level spells. If the spells at these levels are available to them. Caster's Dream. Дава ни още една последен левел Geek. Caster's Dream. Caster's Dream ще си вземем, въпреки че не съм сигурен, че го ползвам. Нека да го имаме като възможност, все така да помислиме. Grant Sweater, one extra attack with the highest attack bonus when making full attack action, stackable with haste and similar effects. Веднага го взимам този пръстен, не знам кой ще го ползва, но Chaos Scourge. Wherever these braces farm also automatically confirms critical hits against chaotic enemies. Как така automatically confirms, bе? In addition, whenever the wearer of these braces confirms a critical hit against chaotic enemy, the enemy suffers -2 penalty to AC and all saving throws for 3 rounds. Тези брейсъри са страхотни за лан, защото той е безброня и хем ще получи армор бонус от тия брейсъри, хем ще ги чупи с critical хитове и ще им смъква AC-то. Или ще ги взема също, въпреки че сигурно няма да ги ползваме. Amulet of Natural Armor плюс 2. Additionally, the wearer possesses the Bardic Performance. Не, нямаме такива екстри. Resourcefulness, Bardic Performance, Breaching, Vulnerable to Piercing, Now in Magic. Аз тук между другото ще се изгуба само докато гледаме артефакти. Това ще е епизод гледаме артефакти. The wearer of this headband of intelligence plus 6 cost spell that affect the enemy. The wearer gains 1 plus 1 overcome spell resistance. Enemy suffers -1 penalty on attack and damage rolls as well as saving throw for 3 rounds. The effect also stacks to a maximum of 4. Cast a spell that affect the enemy. The wearer gains +1 bonus to checks made to overcome spell resistance. Gnawing Magic. С какво е? Intelligence плюс 6. Gnawing Magic е по-добро. Bone Amulet. The wearer of this amulet lands killing blow. They gain. Аз тук някъде виждам ли си голда, между другото? Защото не виждам. Имам 9 милиона, нали така? Тук ще трябва да дам за момента 6 000 екстра. Какво гледах? Bone Amulet, мисля, че гледахме. Да. The wearer of this amulet lands a killing blow. They gain damage reduction for 3 rounds. In addition, this amulet grants wearer plus 4 bonus saving throws against illusion. Grants wearer damage reduction immunity against movement in pairing conditions. Мисля, че този пръстен съм го имал и преди, даже май още го имаме. Но сигурно го ползваме. Sacred Touch го знам. Universal Remedy. No bonus per die rolled on all cure and healing spells as well as channel positive energy to heal living. Това е яко. Rough Landing. Competence bonus to AC. Attack and damage rolls against flying enemies. Greater Kinetic нямаме. Phantom Slayer. Hits the studied target for the first time. The enemy must pass for the same throw or become blinded. Адската. Circulating Bolt. Goals of Dreadful Judge. Judgment Class Feature. They gain 2 additional uses. Добре, значи ние нямаме такова. Wild Shape не ни трябва. Така, тук е нещо интересно. Няма нищо друго. Дил. Така, после ще ги формираме тия артефакти. Тук имаме Arcane Weaver някакъв. Мале, тук Competence bonus against evil. Monk. Haramaki plus 5. Blackened Rags. Competence bonus knowledge arcana. This is DC of spells from which spell list hexes by 1. Black and Rags. Black and Rags. Robe of Malice. Divine Guidance. Earth's Embrace. Constitution. Black and Rags си мисля да го вземе. Лан тук ли е всъщност? Мога ли да видя с каква броня е Лан? Коня ми е умрял. Това е страхотно. Robe of Order. Тук е Robe of Virtue. А той не може да го носи това. Only Monk of Good Alignment. Аха, той беше Lawful Neutral. Мисля да вземе Black and Rags. Пак. Pilgrim Shirt. Не. Arrow Catcher. Shirt of Blazing Fighter. Heavy Disclosed Groundwear. The effect of Heavy Fortification. Какво е Heavy Fortification? Че не си спомням нещо. Нещо даваше това нещо. Не си спомням какво беше обаче. Globus of Dueling не ни трябва. Така. Physical Perfection. Аз мисля, че почти всичките ми герои биха могли да се възползват от Belt of Physical Perfection, ако трябва да съм честен. Ето, това е с четворката. Belt of Physical Perfection на 4, само че an additional on every critical hit while the wearer is raging. Обаче ние rage нямаме. Така че по-добре е да вземем Belt of Physical Perfection. Physical Might е само две неща. Physical Perfection е екстра. Но те са две даже. Ще ги взема. Екстра идеално. Might Flow, така. Resistance, не. Аз не мисля, че има смисъл да си взимам Cloak of Resistance. Savage Unity. Those gloves grant their wearer and his animal companion plus 3 inside bonus on attack and damage rolls for the duration of the animal focus. Аз обаче нямам animal focus. За да го взема това. Display of Power. Wearer 50 full tower that makes all enemies in range suffer minus 2 penalty will saving throws. This is actually pretty cool. Bloodlust. Whenever the wearer of this belt lands a killing blow, they gain plus 5 morale bonus on their next attack roll. Belt of Bloodlust. Belt of Bloodlust е яко всъщност за... Ние имаме Assassin's Belt. Добре. Grant Sword, Precision, Dexterity, Constitution, Belt lands killing blow, they gain plus 2 bonus Dexterity, Constitution. Това е слава. Martial Excellence. Bludgeoning damage on hit with unarmed. Test Athletics. Timely Assistance. Whenever an ally 20-foot area of the wearer lands killing blow, this belt of Constitution plus 4 makes the wearer's next spell extended. As though using the extend spell, it also grants the wearer plus 4 bonus wisdom. Extend. Courageous Charge. Cool Violence. Which aura which grants all enraged allies. Ние нямаме enrage. Scarlet Allure. Makes anyone look good. Lands wearer plus 5. Competence bonus. Persuasion. Whenever an enemy confirms critical hit, lands a sneak attack or attack of opportunity against the wearer. Enemy must pass will saving throw or become devastated by hitting such beauty. Да, това си го спомням също. Тези клокове ги имаме. Acrobat's Footwear. Without provoking attack of opportunity. Cast cantrip or first level spell. That spell deals an additional point of damage. Arcane Persistence. Cast the same spell for the 4th time during the day. Their next spell becomes quickened. Мале. Perfect Manure. Beast Walkers. Те звучат добре. Мале колко бутушки има тук. Аз тъмън, моите хора нямаха никакви. Grants Warrior Competence Bonus Lore Nature. In addition, the Warrior's Animal Companion gets plus 20 bonus to maximum hit points. Слава работа! Those boots allow their wearer to add half their rank in perception skill to damage on their first attack with a ranged weapon every round. Веднага ги взимам тия. Blind sight with a radius 10 feet and competence bonus on stealth skill checks. Blind sight with radius 10 and 10 competence bonus. Could use these. 10 bonus base speed and constant freedom of movement. Нека да имаме бутушки, защото нашите хора наистина нямат. Не съм намерил много бутушки в играта. Whenever the wearer of these gloves lands a hit with a ranged weapon on an enemy within 30 feet, deal additional piercing damage and applies bleed. Surefire gloves. Announces a query. Targeted enemy suffers minus the penalty AC and becomes sickened for 3 rounds. На query е по-добре. Big game gloves. Surefire. Не е лошо, но не е кой знае какво. 3 damage bonus to second weapon when dual wielding. Тоест същите, нали? Fencer's Gift. Не. Чакай бе. Ти си с някакви ръкавици за sneak attack. Deals additional damage. А това нещо... If the wearer has the weapon training and is wielding a weapon, it gives a bonus to that bonus increases by plus 2. Това не съм сигурен дали ще му върши работа, обаче. Gather power. Добре. Harm preventers. Saving throws against poison. Plus 5 competence bonus, mobility checks. They also grant inside bonus to attack and damage for 1 round whenever the wearer hits a flanked enemy with a ranged weapon. Maximum steady hand. Така, тука. О, той няма ръкавици ли бе? Ето му ги ръкавиците. Skinned leather cloak, celestial protection. Saving throws against demons and competence bonus lore religion. Toxic rub, dungeoneer cloak. Spirit trackers, така, spell resistance. As well as plus 2 luck bonus on all saving throws. Star embroidered gloves. These are pretty cool. Outbreak. Gas bonus wearer plus 20 feet bonus to moving speed. Immunity to prone condition. Heavy impact. Stun enemies. On confirmed critical hits with ranged weapons. Single enemy can be subject to this effect only once. Stun. На critical. И тия са добри. Ranged attack, нали така беше? Да, от ranged. Cloak of resistance plus 5 lands a killing blow. All enemies must pass will saving throw or become blinded. Blood scent. Rage, това си го спомням. The wearer of these gloves has an arcane pool. Нямаме такъв. Arcane reserves. Ability damage next time it casts a spell. Its caster level and difficulty of saving throws against it are increased by 2. Не, чува се за Boots of Outbreak. Айде, няма да ги взимам тях. Мали, какви са тия неща, бе, мен? Precious Street. While this item is active, the owner's animal companion, if they have one, gets plus 2 inside bonus, as well as saving throws. However, the wielder suffers minus 3 penalty to attack. Това бих ли си го сложил на паладина? Минус 3 penalty на атак. Е малко много. От друга страна, нека да ползвам Power Attack. Нещо, което бихме си взели да го премислим. Demon's Eye. This Eye of Demon still holds some power. 3 times per day you can curse the enemy. The cursed target suffers minus 8 penalty to strength and constitution. Колко пъти на ден? 3 пъти на ден. Charges 3. 3 times per day. Seer cards. These cards can be activated to predict the future. While they're activated, you get +1 inside bonus to attack and damage rolls, AC, all saving throws, skill checks will now resume. While this item is active, all critical hits made by you or against you are automatically confirmed. Crimson Banner doesn't seem cool. Първо е много скъп, второ нещо не ме кефи. Защото критикалите върху нас ще са много сериозни. Че по-скоро пълме тия неща. Добре. Storyteller, даваме му... Чакай се, той казва ли нещо? Sickly pale. His dry hands shaking slightly as they clutch a ring of some kind. His white lips whisper something you cannot make out. He senses your footsteps only when you walk right up to him, saying with a start, "Who is this?" "Ah, Commander, greetings. I'm sorry I did not recognize your footsteps. My mind is in turmoil, it seems." The storyteller's voice drops to a whisper. "I fear that it is playing tricks on me." Examine. What's wrong with you? Той какво видя? All powerful, spend last така, wound. Матчик от Голариън, дискари, добре. What's wrong with you? I don't know, Commander. I've been stricken with strange malaise, and I feel myself going mad. Whenever I touch any object, I see not its story like before, but its many possible versions, as if all that ever came to be has cast many shadows in every direction, and I am wandering amongst them. It's terrifying. I'm frail, blind wanderer, and my memory is all I have. I've lived for it, learned on it. Why? All I am is memory in a decrepit shell, and now my mind is toying with me, and I am frightened. I do not know what is true. Who are you? One who stands before me. Have we truly met before? Or am I an old madman clinging to passerby's sleeve, pestering them with my ramblings? He clutches helplessly under the weight of his own terror. I fear the moment when my strength of mind will fade completely and I will become a babbling lunatic who talks to rocks. I want to reach out to my past once more, my real past, not one from a vision. In the world there is a tower that once served as my abode. Will you take me there? I'm afraid I no longer have it in me to make the journey alone. I was escorted to the tower. Thank you. Shall we depart at once? A strange ripple passes over the landscape as if everything is but a reflection in the pond where a stone had just landed. Your senses scream at you that something unnatural is at work here. Не бе, не сега бе. Батец. Защо? Аз исках да го гледаме наоколо първо. А той директно ни закара такова. Ужас. Аз знам какво... Знаем кулата, ние ме... How pretty they burn. All damn magic. There are traps all over. Не видяхме. A strange pair, a woundworm and a crusader in bloodstained armor, is absorbed in burning the scrolls on the shelves, not noticing you. If you could burn any great figure, anyone at all, who would it be? Caleb. Ага, и Девара. Чакай бе, този дракон не го ли бихме ние всъщност? Rune Lord Zuta. He was fat, maybe the fattest there ever was, and I enjoy watching the plump ones pop when the fat inside them comes to a boil. I would burn Kaiden Kalen, but before he became a god. They say he had a good joke for every occasion. I wonder what wisecrack he'd come up with atop a bonfire. How did we end up here? I do not know, Commander. I cast no spells. It's as if the world itself transported us here the moment you decided to help me. I have never encountered phenomena of this nature before. Do you remember these two? I recognize these spiteful voices. The warrior is the treacherous crusader who tried to burn me in the Blackwing library. Strange, I thought he died in Kinebers. And the dragon almost devoured me in my tower. I owe my escape to you. Listen in silence. The dragon sniffs the air loudly and turns her head straight to you. Who is this I smell? Who is the source of this scent of elven meat, age, and fear? Is it you, the old fellow who wouldn't stop talking? Oh, it's the one I was telling you about. That's the crusader who killed me. He jabs his finger emphatically in your direction. You're not the only one he brought down, Caleb. You too? What a coincidence. So you're the commander everyone's talking about. If I'd known back then you'd raise so high, dying would have been a bit more of an honor. I killed both of you, so what are you doing here? Somebody resurrected us. Let's just call him our new employer. You've met him, by the way. Big mechanical fella with his heart on the outside. Keeps yammering about what's right and what's anomalous. Anyway, he brought us back to life, and as payment he demanded that we complete an important mission for him. Important, the Varus coughs. He simply sent us to clean up a mess. He said this whole tower is steeped in anomaly, down to the last pebble, and it must be burned along with its contents, without leaving a single page or stone behind. Now that the opportunity has presented itself, I think we should also incinerate it somewhere. She shoots the storyteller a menacing look. It's strange, you've never heard of mortals being resurrected by a Valamolos before. The primordial inevitable's power is certainly vast, but he holds no special influence over life and death. Who are you? You don't recognize me? I'm Caleb Sazuma. We met at the Blackwing library in Kinebers, right when I was about to burn this old wreck. Caleb, whose face is familiar to you, points at the storyteller. I'm Devara, bane of the world wound, and because of you my clutch was pillaged and my offspring died before their birth. Do not think I have forgotten, she lets out a vengeful hiss. And why you in particular were chosen for this task? Maybe Valdemaus could tell we were naturals at burning literature. Or dodging all else. I was never all that interested in literature myself. I take it you're about to start a fight. I'd love to fight you, but it will have to wait. This time we are following the orders of your ally, so I guess we're the good guys today and you'll stay out of our way. We'll just turn everything in this place to ash, and you can go about your business. You can leave the elf here if you like. We'll burn him too. And feed on him. The storyteller straightens up. His pale skin glows faintly and his voice acquiring an unusually regal air. He raises his hands and a shimmer of magic envelops them. Remove your filthy hands from my memories. Whatever they may be, they are mine, and anyone who encroaches upon them, I will send to Pharasma as many times as I must. See? The elf is asking for it. What say we kill him together? We'll tell Valmalos that you helped us, and like semi-divine entities are wont to do, he'll treat you some kind of reward, eh? You've changed, storyteller. Storyteller's peaceable, harmless demeanor is gone, transforming him into an animated, wrathful mummy. I remember my days as a mighty warrior and a conqueror of the unknown. Memories of the past and the might have beens overwhelm me, and it feels good. What are you talking about? Is the tower really an anomaly? I'm unfamiliar with the word anomaly, but yes, my tower is laced with chaotic and impossible memories, which makes its existence unnatural. Perhaps an echo of those memories has reached out to me through the tower. But that does not concern me. I am memory. It is my duty to preserve stories, and those who threaten them will witness the power of the greatest archmage of Kyonin. Pick up a piece of paper and study it carefully. The paper is covered in elaborate magical equations. With great definity, you manage to make sense of them. This calculation seems to prove that the existence of magic is impossible, and they look eerily convincing. Peeking over your shoulder curiously, Nenio says mesmerized, "Can the bloodshed wait a little while? 20 minutes or so? I have to make a copy of this and give it some thought." How about we ease up on the arson and go our separate ways? Impossible. We were brought back for a single purpose. I assume that should we fail to fulfill it, we will drop dead again, and much prefer being alive. Easy there, Commander. I mean, we're doing the right thing here, and the old fart over there is trying to ruin everything. He's the one you need to deal with, not us. I won't let you torch this place. Valdemalos took precautions against any who might interfere with our task, so he infused us with a great deal of his power. Let me demonstrate just how much. First I will burn you in my flames, then bite you in half and trample you beneath my feet. Overkill? I'm not greedy. You sense that the ground beneath your feet is little shakier than before. The colors around you seem to blur slightly, and the sounds you hear blend and mix together. Your actions have violated the order and stability of this place.
It's either us or them.
Интересно. Всъщност, най-накрая имаме възможност да им правим ето така. А той е имунен на Ивалай. Браво, бе! Защо и този е имунен на Ивалай, бе, да се? Имун to weird. Абе, аз защо им правя магии при положение, че не знам тия какви са, бе, брат? Стърчант, негатив, позитив, спел имуните като цяло, добре. А това нещо? Спел имунити. Paralyzed, prone, frightened, stunned, не знам си какво. Окей, окей. Така. Добре. Какво са? Нека да се бъхнем след това нещо, като няма какво друго да стане. Така. Айде бе, Келъп. Така, Аркона Аура, добре. Мисля да им правим един тезелен дисплей, въпреки че те сигурно са имунни. Да, имунни са на Шейкен. Давай да го джаснем този тип. Така. Тук ще направим. Така. Ау! Това нещо за 3 нейния си човек ли, бе? Лошото е, че е имунно на спел с аз, какво да му направя? Ще си направя на коня. Е това. Той дракон е имунен на стън на всичко в общи линии, така че аз тук магии нямам какви да му направя. Мисля, че мога да му прасна един Hellfire Ray, макар че май силно няма да подейства. Чакайте сега, штрак.
Make your peace.
Kneel before me. Attack!
There, the storyteller's voice reveals a mixture of exhaustion and satisfaction. Those who would set fire to my memories are dead. Tell me about your connection to the tower. What's wrong with this place? My own understanding is quite limited, Commander. All I know is that this tower and I are connected by a spiritual bond, for I'm a living font of stories and the tower is my past. My own story, it has absorbed some chaotic energies of the unreal, and through our bond they have affected me as well. Those scrolls that fill this tower, the knowledge that lies within, these are the same false memories that have appeared in my mind. What are you going to do now? Delve. There is a painful thirst in the storyteller's voice. So many stories of the might have been are now laid before me, and I wish to learn them all. Are you sure we shouldn't cleanse this place? No. My new recollections may tell me the tales of that which never existed, but that does not diminish their significance. My mind stores memories of empires whose remains are now dust, but have they truly ever existed? Does it matter? The storyteller's voice takes on an off-putting cawing tone. Memories are like children. They are all innocent, even if some of them are different from the rest, and it is my duty to treasure them all. Shall we go back to the camp? I'll find my own way back. I'll remain in the tower for now. I would like to lay my hand on this stonework and remember all the things that were and those that were not. Cool. Аз пък искам да събера дракони и неща. Може ли? Май не. Чакай се. Ау. Някакви огньове ме бият. Тук. Добре, аз как да си тръгна? Аха, мога да си тръгна по лесен начин всъщност. Тук мога... Тоест аз имам няколко възможности да си тръгна. Мога да слязам тук на първия етаж. Да видим сам какво е пък. Стига. Тук има някакви неща. Чели. Ние бяхме в тази кола. Това не е ли точно кулата всъщност, в която се бихме предния път с точно този дракон? Или е кулата, в която бяхме в Ада? Не съм много сигурен. Ама е много странно всичко тук. Но както и да е, я да видим какво е надолу в кулата. Все пак. Не ни е получил някакъв блайнд от някъде. Ай, какви сте, бе? Добре, а те са много даже. Обаче аз ще ги пръсна сам. Я да видим какво представляват тия години. Calmness, Caretaker, Chaotic Natural Outsider. Polymorph, Movement и Paring. Acid Negative, Combat Maneuver, Grapple. Spell Immunity, Stinking Cloud, Mindfog, Storm, така, Missile, Force Strike. Slow, Stinking Cloud, Mindfog, Acid, Fog, Prone, Paralyzed, Entangled. Difficult Terrain, Slow, Immobilized, Frightened, Shaken, Invisible. Са някакви яки типове тия. Не, чакай. А на елементите бяха имуни на Acid и Негатив. Тоест аз не мога да ги бия с негатив, обаче мога да дойда по-напред някъде и да ги джасна с един Stormbolt. Така. Защото лайтинга ги разцепва. Единия го стъмнахме, което е страхотно. Така. Стойте са. Аз имам 6 атаки към това, мога да го направя директно. Меча ми пуснат ли е? Май е пуснат. О да, Sword of Heaven има още 4 минути. Добре, значи тия мога да ги направя много лесно. Добре, няма да го правя сега. Аркона е достатъчен, мисля. Така. Massive Lightning Damage. Интересно, любопитно. Нещо, което да мога да им вкарам като Lightning масов. По-скоро не имам съмъни тук. Тия 3 съмъна трябва да ги разкараме. Само ми взимат место. Трябва да съм честен. Тук имаме Fire, примерно, който мога да им направя. Long range. Обаче това ще ни цапне и нас, Я го пробваме това. Найс. Това загина. Това не може ли да дойде от сама така и да го запука това, не? Той има още гадини даже. Добре. Тия цунамите са брутални, брат. Където ни ги раздават. Така. Това се бъфна и се направи някакъв гаден само. Добре. Сега ще му раздаваме този лайтнинг тук, да се знае. Но човек направо го промнаха. Кофти. Значи хейст. Това не умря ли? Бата. Сега ще умря. Ау. Керапа. Така. Едното се разбяга, което е супер. Така. Дали са имуни на неща? Тия години не са. Добре. Ау. И this. Аз имам нещо блъра, аба. Да, ние имахме от... Имаме дисплейсмент даже от супер яката ви масова магия. Това нещо е блайндното, което е супер. И какво да им направя друго, май нех като цяло. Даже хич няма какво да им направя. Ху, няма си хъба магиите. Много. Тази година тук трябва да загине. Добре. Те са две тук такива годините. Добре. Вау! То много демидж ми прави, бе. Ама че тип. Добре. Имаме ли блес? Имаме блес, имаме Demon Slayer Soup, имаме всичко. Добре, а аз тогава в такъв случай ще се хилвам. Защото що не? Така ще сложа един така. Сега на следващия търн това го пребивам от всякъде. Реджелката изяде малко бой обаче. Това какво беше за атаката, нали така? Окей. Това го убивам. Правим толкова много ден, ще го правя наистина. Така. Този направо загина, бе, брат. Що е някакъв такъв много тегъв тук. Не се вижда. Не, това е най-доброто, което мога да направя, да дисмисне тази магия. Така стига толкова лава. Не трябва повече. GG. Тук си намерихме Flawless Cloak of Resistance плюс 7. Monsters of the same type usually don't stack. In addition, this claw grants its wearer immunity to level drain and ability score damage. Пау. Няма какво да ни спре. Бам. 40 било сейвинг трол. За това говоря. Така. Сега аз искам обаче тук навсякъде да видим какво става, защото така завъртях камерата, че се изгубих от всякъде. Тук имаше някакъв път, но вече явно няма. Добре. И сега какво? Тук няма нищо, няма друг изход от никъде. Само е счупено всичко. Бихме лошите и е време да си ходим. На къде ни е изхода обаче? Чакайте сега, не трябва да дойдем тук. Да. Тук и се качва нагоре. Аз е хубаво да си метна някакъв хил. By the way. Е така. Може един от тия. Един от тия. И трябва пак да се бъфне с Legendary Proportions, само това ще стане след като се върнем на града. Сега дали се телепортираме направо в... Oh shit. The path of the commander which seemed to be drawing toward its logical conclusion has unexpectedly taken a turn, but there is no time to marvel at the twist of fate. The world is under threat, and the wielder of extraordinary powers must deal with it, whether he wishes or not. The world wound yawns wide before the commander, as hostile as ever, or perhaps it is not quite the same as always. The commander decides that he should take a good look around. There is nothing out of the ordinary about the scene at first glance, but upon closer inspection oddities begin to appear, quite literally appear. East has now come into view on the horizon, though it was not there before, or perhaps it was there all along, and has only been revealed now that the skies are clear. Speaking of which, when did the world wound last experience clear skies? On the other hand, one never knows what strange phenomena the world wound might produce. Perhaps fair weather is one of them. The world wound yawns wide before the commander, as hostile as ever. The commander decides that he should return to the entrance threshold. It is strange, but the road to the commander's destination seems much shorter than it first appeared. It seems as though the commander had only just set foot on the path before the journey was already at its end. Of course, one should argue that all of this is but the work of the commander's imagination. After all, one's memory tends to only record vivid experiences, and the monotonous trek here can hardly be described as such. But this is not the first strange thing the commander has experienced here. The weather is another oddity. The commander senses a strange unreality in the events unfolding here. What is really going on? Тоест, върнахме ли се? Сега ще разбера. Леле, тая игра е адската. Аз направо не мога повярвам. Вижте, сега тук ще ни падат някакви страхотни предмети, някакви брутални предмети. Ще ни падат. В кемпа сме, бе. Командърс чест, ето го моя чест, който е празен, поради някаква причина. Което не би трябвало да е така, by the way. Тук е и Анивия. Останете са тук. Странна работа. Arcane Jewelry Trader, добре. Анивия е тук. И няма никой друг, така ли? Има някакъв крузейдър. Ние дойдохме от тук. Добре, я да видим Анивия какво ще ни каже. Hey Commander, Anivia's face is molded red with fresh cuts and her neck is wrapped in a blood-stained bandage. She holds a dagger with a jagged edge in her hand, and the blade lets out a grunting shriek with every pass of the whetstone. We need to talk. Hey, are you alright? Oh, you mean this scratch? Anivia points to the bandage around her neck. I got clawed. It's nothing serious. The traitorous crook in her voice suggests the opposite. Socio moves as if to help her, but she warns him off with a look of irritation. How are things in the camp? I sent most of the soldiers to spread out around the area. We've got thresholds around it. We've set up our base of operations here. Somewhere you can rest and replenish your supplies. We're preparing to attack. And I just sent you off to the attack on threshold. Anivia peers at you sympathetically, but out in the sun. Been out in the sun too long, Commander? I'm positive that I already attacked Threshold. After a brief pause, Anivia cautiously and almost clumsily replies, your words ring hollow. No, you haven't attacked Threshold yet. You're still preparing. The big battle is still ahead of us. What do you want to talk about? The frantic shrieking of the whetstone on there dies away. I know the big push is coming, and now's not the right time, but Anivia's eyes lock with yours, and you can see the panic in them. We gotta save Beth before it's too late. Where is Beth, and what does she need to be saved from? She's in Is. One of our units on patrol spotted a band of demons. We gave a chase and pursued them all the way to Is. Then more of the scum jumped out of nowhere, and everything went to pot. We had to split up. Beth's group was forced to retreat into some ruins, and we couldn't get to them. I tried, but I almost got the rest of us trapped there too. Anivia touches the bloody bandage, and then I got clawed. Long story short, Beth's somewhere out there, still alive, I hope. You won't make it through the small groups, and I damn it all don't have the right to call a larger group away from the main attack. Anivia's voice grows louder. I thought of just dropping everything and trying to sneak through on my own, but that's a suicide mission, not a rescue mission. The dagger rings out plaintively as Anivia tosses it again against the stones. So what am I supposed to do? Sit here and wait until all of them are killed? Herbert is fighting in the crusade as well. Anivia smiles bitterly. You think she'd let me come here on my own? What were demons like? What were the demons like? They were strange. They looked normal enough, but they weren't. There was something off about them, something wrong. Anivia says these words with particular gravity, her voice edged with steel. I'll find your Beth. Thanks. Anivia goes strangely limp, and the light in her eyes goes out. I hope you would say that. I hoped you would say that. One time you dragged me out of the bowels of Kenebris, now Beth needs your help. Storyteller продължава да си е тук. may I be of service? How are you feeling? The storyteller smiles wanly, and you notice dried blood in his mouth. Phantoms of things that never happened have broken upon my mind like a flood. I have become their doting guardian, and it is so wonderful, as though I have been wandering the desert and finally found a spring. I drink, and I cannot quench my thirst. There is no time for sleep or food. I absorb the stories of the past that never came to be. Orishel says quietly. It's strange, but the way he looks and talks reminds me of addicts in an oceaneer. He consumes his fake memories just as hungrily as an addict bites down on their pipe. Tell me a new story. He laughs maniacally. There is much I could tell you. The story of Commander Joran Vane, who killed his treacherous brother and was granted by the Queen the right to lead the crusade on Dresden. The legend of the terrifying Minago the Conqueror, who destroyed Kinevers and Erosian, drowned all of Aviston in blood. Or the tale of King Darn, dubbed the Lord of Vice, who ascended the throne after Queen Galfrey's death, and led the blood-soaked resistance in the demon-infested lands. I could speak of a past without a world wound, but one where heaven invaded the material plane. Past with you, but one where Liu Volesh was known as the protector of humankind. A past where I never set foot in the lands of Mendev, and the wise mage Aravashnion did not meet his death in the caves under Kinebras. But I don't have time to be telling you any of this. I must learn, I must listen to new stories until I've learned them all, claimed them all. Добре. И знаете ли какво ще? Това ще бъде край на този епизод. Тук стават някакви странни неща, това е очевидно. Мисля, че дестабилизирахме мястото при кулата, което май беше грешно решение. Защото сега сторителъра, виж такъв е някакъв, как тя казва, някакъв такъв адикт, как беше на български. Не привързана ми, как ти да е, не мога да се сетя. Като забравя някоя дума на български, право умира. Така, зависим от тези нови истории, които научавам, които паралелно не са истински за нашия свят, но може би са реалност, нали, за паралелните светове, не е ясно. И да, ще видим какво се случва тук, каква мистерия ни е обградила в продължение на следващите епизоди. Така че благодаря ви, че гледахте, надявам се да ви е било забавно. Това е първото DLC, което ще разцъкаме от Pathfinder. Предстои ни още много цъкане на Pathfinder, така че аз ви желая всичко хубаво и чао!